Welcome back, riders, to Ride the Six Motorcycle channel. We're back with another episode of the 2007 Gixxer 750. In the last episode, we got all the pegs on. We got the rear wheel in. We filled the bike up with oil, put in a new filter and drain bolt and all that stuff. So now I'm looking at underneath the engine here, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to put the rad on next or I put the exhaust on next. But to be honest, I really want to put the exhaust on. So I have it just loosely fitted up here. I did pull out the old exhaust gaskets. There was only 3 of them, so I needed one anyways. But anyways, I bought a whole new set of exhaust gaskets. And we need to figure out how that Yoshi pipe mounts up, because this hardware, I don't know if I have it, but we're going to figure something out. I actually have a feeling that piece there mounts in behind our rider's pegs. So I'm going to pull this exhaust off because I just have it temporarily lined up just to see if everything's good. But I do want to clean it up first. It's looking a little aged. You can see I kind of cleaned this spot up here pretty good. But you can see I didn't clean the spot here at all. So let me pull that back off the bike. I'm going to take that and the Yoshi pipe outside, and we're going to clean it up a little bit. Check that out. It's amazing what a little bit of WD-40 and those little emery pads will do. It's not perfect, but it's probably 10 times better than it was. And there's the Yoshi pipe. Look at that, cleaned her up. Pretty shiny. All right. That took maybe about half an hour, guys. Just WD-40 and those little scour pads, and then I just washed it all with soap and water because I don't want any of that stuff smoking and burning when the bike eventually starts up. All right, let's go back to the garage. Let's see if we can't get this exhaust system mounted up. And another thing I did notice, this header has no O2 sensor. It's gone, or maybe maybe they plugged it. I'm not sure. But anyways, there's no O2 sensor here in the header pipe, so looks like she's gonna be an open exhaust. Also, I'm probably not gonna tie up the butterfly valve, so with the cables released, it actually fails open, and this is pretty much the same on any bike. So with the cables on there, it'd be closed. No cables, it opens up, so it gives you basically gives you more noise. All right, let's go back to the garage. So I've decided to remove the mounting bracket off the Yoshi pipe because it actually mounts in behind our right side rider's peg here. So I have to undo these bolts that I already Loctited in. I've already taken out the bottom bolt. They're not that hard to get out. It looks like that plate sandwiches in between the rider's peg and the mounting bracket on the bike, so it should line up. Hopefully you can see that. It lines up in those same holes, so that's what we need to do. Get it into those same holes, I believe. Nope, we are not lining up. Why not? Why not? That's the way it was. That's the way it was on. Oh, I have a feeling maybe this spring has to come out. That rear brake spring, I think, may have to come off. This may have to come right off the bike, perhaps. Alright, let's undo that rear brake light spring first. We'll deal with that again later. Let's try this again now. Let's get the plate in behind. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. I'm still not sure how that spring's going to get mounted in there. There's no clearance here. I don't know. That's kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, it may go in behind. It's possible, I think. I just wonder if I can do it after I mount the piece up. Unknown. Let's try. Let me get one bolt in here. Now this thing's just in the way. Okay. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah, that bracket, it's kind of a little bit in the way. Not ideal. Definitely not easy, guys. Should be easy, but getting these bolts lined back up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing with that brake spring. It's definitely different. But the bracket has to be on the right way. So that's it loosely mounted up. That is where it's going to ride, I'm pretty sure. Once that's all tightened in, there's a bit of space down there for our brake spring. I feel like I need to mount it up. I don't know if I can mount it up after. Guess I could. I don't think I have a choice. Okay, let me tighten these bolts back in. Make sure my little rear brake sensor is not in the way. I figured it was easy doing the bracket instead of trying to hold the exhaust and hold the peg and do everything all at once, right? So I figured I'd just do the bracket first. It would just be easier, and then be able to mount the exhaust up to that piece. Okay, so I have this loosely tightened in. I need to torque these back in again now. I'm not going to do that just yet. And now that that piece is in there, it's definitely a lot trickier now to get that brake spring in. I can't even see anything under there. I'll fiddle with that in a little bit. I may have to get under the bike there, guys. Okay, so our bracket's installed. I'm going to start putting the headers on the bike now, and then I'm going to put the exhaust piece on after that. So our exhaust bracket is bolted up. We have our muffler there, and we have our headers there. I cleaned them up, as you can see a little bit. And I've also gone ahead and purchased 4 new exhaust flange gaskets, or whatever they call them. There's the part number if you need to figure it out, for an 07 Gixxer 750. And there's the old ones. Probably not really much wrong with them, but I was missing one anyways, so I bought 4 new ones. All right, let's see if I could get those popped into the exhaust portion on the bike here. So these are the new exhaust gaskets. You can see one side is quite flat, and you can see the new design has these 3 little tabs to help hold them in the exhaust manifold, I guess, as you're putting the pipes in. The old way was to put some grease there and try to stick them up in there. It was quite a hassle, to be honest. So I'm pretty excited that Suzuki's made something so simple, but yet was probably going to work really, really good when trying to put the exhaust together. So we're going to drop these up inside the up against the exhaust manifold here, and that side's going to go to the motor. This side here is going to go toward your header pipe. So they got to go up into the motor this way. I've already put one in, and I'm going to show you here. I'm probably going to do one on camera just so you see how it's done. And the way I'm going to do this is I have a 32mm socket, and we're going to put that side to the motor. We're going to put our socket on top of this and gently tap it in so that that gasket seats properly. This is the perfect size, guys. 32mm socket. I have these kicking around anyway for probably a stem bolt. It probably goes up here. I don't know. But yeah, I had to kick it around, and it's going to work really well. I've already done one, and I'll do the rest maybe on camera here for you. So there you go. You can see I already have one in there. And this is the 32mm socket. You can see it's perfect for seating these gaskets in. Okay, so let's do the second one. Flat side to the back. I'm just kind of roughly going to place it. You want to try to get them in as straight as possible, but with this socket, it should seat very easily. And you're just going to gently tap it into place. You'll feel it when it seats because it just has a different sound to it. So there we go. So that one's seated. It's actually pretty easy and pretty quick to do, guys. And this will prevent any exhaust leaks and stuff around your headers. Okay. 3 in. Yeah, these new tabs work great because these normally will just fall out without those tabs. It was a super pain previously. This is the first time I've ever seen it on a bike that had those little tabs. There we go. I think we're all seated. I'm going to double check. Yep. So our 4 exhaust gaskets are now seated into the exhaust manifold. So this is the last bolt I have to torque in. It's 16.5 foot-pounds according to the manual. You might want to get yourself a long socket here because there's not a lot of room around the header pipe. Okay, so we're going to tighten this bottom bolt first. It's the most difficult bolt. The ones underneath are the harder ones to get to. Take your time, guys. Crank these in. You don't want to strip them. You definitely don't want to break that bolt off in the engine block. It should be coming tight here shortly. There we go. And let's do the last one right up here. This long extension makes it a little bit easier. It hasn't come tight yet, but it's got to be close. There we go. Whew! Yeah, you definitely don't want to over tighten those bolts, guys. But anyways, there we go. Our header's installed. We have our bracket for the rad out through the center of the header. This was bent, so I did have to move it a little bit. I still don't know if this is the exact location or if I have to move it and bend it a little bit more. But we're gonna go with that for now. Let's go around to the other side of the bike. Let's see if we can actually get the exhaust fitted up to the muffler and get that muffler mounted. It's time to try to slip this muffler on. I've cleaned it up as you saw previously, and I do have one hose clamp here. I'm guessing that is for the exhaust. Alright, I'm going to try to slide this over the header pipe. Okay, we're on the header pipe, but we need to try to get the exhaust in the right position. Let me see here. I don't have any springs here or anything to pull this forward. I'm definitely not where I need to be. It has to be way more forward for sure. Yeah, it's got to come forward quite a bit, guys. Just going to try to wiggle it forward here. Okay, I think I'm all the way forward. We're close to where the mounting point is, but I think I have to rotate. Let me see here. So I think I figured it out. This muffler can actually also turn. I thought it was welded here, but it's actually a slip-on here at this point as well. So the muffler can turn and rotate. So I've just turned it a little bit. Let's get it into the mounting position here. Just going to try to bolt this up. It should almost align itself. Wait a second, I lost my grommet. So there we go. Once this is in place, I think everything else will fall in place underneath the bike. There's a couple mounting brackets under there also. Again, I got to try to find the screws. Okay, there we go. I think we have it in the bracket. Beautiful, it's pulling together nice. Alright, so we're mounted there. We're not hitting our swing arm. Underneath there's a couple bolt locations. There's one under here. Again, I'm just testing bolts, guys, because I don't know what bolt goes where. I just have a bag of bolts, as you saw in the initial video. This could be the bolt for the exhaust. This could not be the bolt for the exhaust. There's another one here. I don't know what these large bolts are. I can only assume they're for the exhaust stuff, because after this there's not much left other than fairings and small things. But I need to try to find that hole and line it up. Oh. Yep, okay, that could be the bolt. It actually fits. I need a bigger tool here though. Okay, so the bottom bolt is tight. Yep. We're going to tighten this top bolt here now. This is the mounting location because we have two holes that have lined up perfectly. Beautiful, there we go. So I got two bolts on the right hand side, and I think there might be another bolt on the left hand side, but let me go check. Whew, I finally got that exhaust mounted up, guys. So yeah, there's one mounting bolt here for the muffler. There's another bolt here that I had to get my finger in behind to put a nut on it. Again, found this in my bag of bolts. There's another mounting bolt here. And there's a socket type thing on the back. And then on the other side, actually, let me take you to the other side and show you the other bolt as well on the other side. And on the other side, we have another mounting bolt right there. So I've tightened all these bolts in. Check that out, guys and girls. We have a Yoshi R55 exhaust mounted up on our Gixxer. Now, check this out. We're starting to look like a bike here now. Full exhaust on. Oil's done. Electronics, cable harness is all in. I'm actively working on the key right now. I'm hoping to get the key back today. Hopefully, if they're going to be able to cut it for me. And we're getting really, really, really close, guys, to trying to start this bike up. I can't wait. I think it's going to sound amazing with that Yoshi on there. Yeah, exciting times, exciting days. It's sunny outside. I might go for a ride and then come back to this in a little bit. But yeah, hopefully that key comes through today. Be sweet. Just unlock the bars and start her up. All right, I got some keys here, guys. We're going to try to see if any of these keys start the bike. Well, or at least turn the ignition, you know. 4 keys. I've already tried 3 of them. This key actually does fit the ignition. It's pretty cool. Okay, so look, we're in the off position. You can see I've actually already unlocked the triple tree. We're in the off position. Look at that, on, off. And I could push the lock. So I actually do have a key for this motorcycle now, which is fantastic. I'm not going to tell you how or why, because I don't want any thieves or criminals to get any ideas. But yeah, I have a key for this parts salvage Gixxer 750. Pretty sweet, guys. I guess it's time to get a battery in it and maybe start putting the forks in now that I have the triple trees unlocked. So we've come a long ways in quite a short period of time. All right, stay tuned. Let's see what we're going to do next on the bike here. So the next thing we're going to put on the bike here is the radiator. I've already gone and kind of mocked it up off camera because I had to double check that bracket on the bottom because it was bent, but it looks like I have it in the approximate location. And so we're just going to torque in these bolts now. There's 2 bolts here at the top of the rad and 1 bolt at the bottom. And these are only 7 foot-pounds. Very, very light. Sometimes you may not have a torque wrench that goes that low. This one does. 7 isn't very tight, guys. Like, you watch. 7 is like nothing. It's because the size of the bolt is smaller. There we go. 7. I might as well do the bottom one as well because it's on the same side. If I can get to it, yep. Okay, 7. So our last bolt is here on the left hand side of the bike. Same thing, I already have it kind of in place, just have not torqued it down. I'm going to finger tighten it first. Okay, there we go. So our 3 rad bolts are torqued in at 7 foot-pounds. Let's, it's time to get all the hoses connected. Okay, over on the left-hand side of the bike here, we're gonna connect this bottom hose. Gonna make sure it goes on all the way. We don't need it coming off. And then we have our little clamp here. I'm going to get it back to the same spot that it was. And we're just going to snug this down for now. I don't know if there's any specific torque settings on these clamps. We're going to come back and check in a little bit. Okay, hose is on, clamp is secured. Feels pretty good, but I will check it. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we're on the right hand side of the bike now, and we have two hoses here. I'm just going to make sure. I always have my clamps so that I can access the screw from the outside. So orientate your clamps the same right direction. Let's slide this hose on. Okay. Undo this clamp a little bit here. There we go. Our hose here is a little short, but I guess that's just how it is, I guess. It's not like I have the rad in the wrong location. Okay, let's tighten up. As long as we're over the little bump part on the things here, the clamp is behind that, we should be good. Okay, I'll just snug that up for now. And last one is our big rad hose here. Maybe I can bring that rad a little closer, but feels like that hose should be a little bit longer. Okay, it is where it is. I mean, unless I can bring the rad in a bit closer, and the only way that's going to happen is by the bracket, but yeah, I can maybe bend the bracket a little bit to bring the rad in. Okay, let's move this up. Gotta get it over the hump. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to double check to see if there's actually any torque settings or anything on these small little clamps. I don't know if there is. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Okay, I guess I got to find my little coolant reservoir. So the last thing we're going to install here for the cooling system is our little reservoir, and I just have to snug that bolt down. But yeah, we're ready to go. We have our rad on, we have all our hoses connected. I've double checked, there's two on each side, and I've double checked all my hose clamps. Everything's tight. So I think tomorrow morning I'm going to go get some distilled water. I have coolant here, but this is going to be a track bike anyway, I think, so I might as well just put distilled water in it now and a little bit of water wetter. So tomorrow morning I'm going to go get that. We're going to fill this up. I got to figure out something with the battery, and now that I have a key and I have the gas tank, I just got to install it here, but we might be able to get this thing fired up tomorrow. Stay tuned. All right, it's the next day. I managed to get the rad on yesterday and all the hoses, and I found my coolant reservoir in one of the bins of parts that I had. So far, we have not had any missing parts or any missing bolts from this auction purchase. It's It's simply amazing. Okay, the next thing I want to tackle is just to kind of get these forks out of the way. Mainly because I'm tired of kind of having the handlebars and the brakes and everything all dangling. So I want to get these forks installed. So there's my cutters. I have tie wraps holding things in place here. Things are just, it's at the point where it's starting to get in the way and it's a little bit annoying. So we are going to, there's a little pin underneath that holds those bars in the right spot. This might be a little tricky because I only have so many hands to do this. Let me make sure I have the, okay, so this should be the right side fork. It's a little tricky because I have to go under my stand, up through the stand, not pinch any wires or get anything in the wrong orientation. And I'm having issues here. Let me see. Maybe this bolt is too tight on the lower triple tree. Actually, it's not very tight. They're pretty loose, actually. Okay, let's get it up there. Okay, I don't know if this goes around the front or the back. I assume the front of the fork. Okay, let me see here. Alright, so far so good. Let's keep bringing the fork up. Alright, now according to the manual, the distance that you're supposed to bring the fork up through the tree is 5 millimeters. And I'm pretty sure there's a line, the way the fork is designed, there's a little rib right there at that 5 millimeter mark. So we're there right now. I just want to tighten down one of the lower pinch bolts. Actually, I'm going to tighten down both the lower pinch bolts. I'm not going to torque these in just yet. Just like everything else with this bike, if you're not sure what the torque setting should be on these bolts, go with 16.5, because almost everything I've seen in this bike, including the passenger pegs, anything into the aluminum pieces, is 16.5 foot-pounds, like almost everywhere on the bike. Okay, so we have our lowers. I don't want this coming out, so I'm just gonna okay, so we have our lowers tightened in at 6, well, just tightened in. They're not torqued or anything yet. And I'll show you, I'll see if I can get you a closer view. So this is what I'm talking about with the fork. They want 5 millimeters above the top tree. And the way this fork is designed, it starts tapering in right there at that point. For now, it's very easy for me to line it up to that point, which I'm sure is pretty close to 5 millimeters, if not bang on. Okay, let me get the other fork up in the bike. We're over on the left side. We're going to do the exact same thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my tie wraps here. I have many tie wraps on this side because I also have the brakes. I got to cut that as well. Okay. Okay. I need to figure something out here first. These brake lines, they're going to dangle. You know what? Maybe I can use my stand here. I don't want to rip anything, guys. Okay, good enough for now. I just kind of just lining things up to see where they go here. Okay, here's our pin. All right, harnesses are out of the way. Let's see if I can get this fork leg up in here. Same thing, I got to go in through my stand. Okay, up into the lower triple. We're going to go through. Same as before, we're binding up a little bit here in the lower triple. Screws are loose, I'm not sure why. Okay, let's see if we can pull it up. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to get our clip-on, our left clip-on in place. I don't know what all these cable harness routings are for here. Okay, handlebars on the fork. Okay. What am I hitting? Okay. Okay, fork is in. I'm going to use that same ridge line on the forks up top for the height, which is right there. Let's see if we can get a couple bolts in here. I'm just going to tighten these in gently, just to hold the fork so I can free up some hands. Okay, should be good. I don't think it's going anywhere. They're pretty equal. If I'm looking at both the forks, they're pretty equal. And this, where's my hole? Awesome, so there we go. We have both front forks in. I have not torqued in the bolts yet. I just have snugged them down, and also here at the top, and also that bolt there for the, I guess, the rider's clip-ons. Everything is kind of snugged up. Now, on the left, or sorry, on the right side of this bike, in order to snug in that bolt there, you actually need to remove your front brake reservoir because it's blocking that bolt. So, yep, you got to take that off. So I've got that dangling anyway. You can see this fluid's probably not very good. I'm going to get that cleaned out and, you know, refreshed as well. So yeah, now I'm just going to double check before I bolt everything in. I want to double check all the cable routing, make sure I don't have to pull that fork back out and run cables a different path. It's not as easy just moving the cable around the fork, right? So you have to drop the fork if it's routed incorrectly. But I mean, I think it's all routed properly. I just think these two lines here might have to go up into this bracket. But I think I could probably slide them around without taking the fork out. So yeah, overall we're looking good. I have the front brakes just tied up to my stand at the moment. But yeah, let me see. Let's continue. We're gonna call this an episode here. I've kind of fit up my front nose just to kind of see where things line up and also check those cable routings. It looks like this is the proper location. I mean, it's kind of in the way of the dash cluster, but I believe that's the way it goes. Feel free to drop a comment in the video, guys, if this is the wrong setup, by all means. But it looks like that's where it goes. I've just mounted my calipers onto my forks just to kind of get them out of the way. And I think this bike had some kind of aftermarket lighting kit because this doesn't look like a stock piece to me. And yeah, there's little dangly bits under here also for some more stuff. So I think there was a lighting controller or something different that was I noticed in the parts bin that wasn't quite sure what it is. Okay, thanks for watching, guys and girls. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to drop comments in the video. We're getting really close, probably in the next episode. I'm working on the tank right now, so I'm going to change out the, I guess the filter on the fuel pump. I'm changing that, and that part's taking a little bit to come in. So yeah, stay tuned. This thing is going to get fired up, or attempted to fire up real soon. If you're with the riding, ride safe.